I'm Cody Zilverberg. I work at the Dakota Lakes Research Farm. I'm a range scientist and I work on the livestock integration. And we're standing here in a perennial pasture. This is another one of the pieces in the livestock integration puzzle. We've rented this pasture for 4 years now. Prior to us taking over the lease, it had been grazed continuously and it was dominated by exotic cool season grasses like smooth brome and crested wheatgrass, which you'll find all over South Dakota. And those are good grasses early in the spring and they provide the good quality grazing, but this time of year they're really in decline. And so when we took over the lease, we wanted to make some improvements to this pasture, and we've been doing different experiments to find out ways that we can integrate more of the native warm season tallgrass prairie species back into this land, and that'll extend our grazing season longer and with good quality further into the summer, and also should provide better wildlife habitat and increase the diversity here. So the strategies we've used to try to accomplish that are changing the grazing. I mentioned it was continuous. Now we do rotational grazing through here, and we've also seeded some of those native perennial species, and we have used herbicide. And this is a really interesting time of year to be out in the pasture like this, because we grazed it in May and we grazed it pretty short, took about everything we could off with it, and now the cool season grasses like this crested wheatgrass that's right here, they've grown back and it's already heading. And so because we see it's heading, we know that at this point the quality of this is really in decline. So as this one is really kind of finishing what it's going to do for this growing season, and we look right here, this is a big blue stem plant, and this is one of the native tallgrass species that we have planted into this pasture, and we can see that it's really just getting going at this time of year. So the quality is really good. It's still not probably quite as big as we'd like before we begin grazing it, and so this is going to get much bigger. I mean, it'll probably have leaves up to here. Of course, depends on the weather and conditions and everything, but later in June or in July, this will be it's already very palatable. Later in June, it'll be both palatable and we'll have a lot more biomass here, in comparison to these exotic species that were here prior. So we're using those three strategies, the switching our grazing style and seeding and herbicide, and we're doing a lot of different combinations of those to try to determine what's the most effective way to get more of these native species back into our pastures.